I have a question, Stuart. Chris.
Yes, Chris.
Stuart, I have spontaneous mantras happen when I'm in class with you. Is that okay?
Yeah, but don't sing them out loud, just let them be silently inside you,
Okay,
nothing wrong with that. It's very good, actually. Very good.
thank you.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have a question?
I have a question, Anna.
Yes, Anna?
So I was in British Museum this week and I was overwhelmed with Egyptian collection there. So I was stressed, vomiting, dizzy. So I needed to leave the museum. I mean, it's not first time I go to Egyptian collections in different museums. So I get so much emotions about this specific one, British one. So during the meditation, I kind of recognized that it was fear of something. So
Well,
my question is, what should I do with this fear? It's not like where it's coming from. I kind of can.
let me answer your question. Okay. Look, those objects are very powerful objects. I've been around not Egyptian, but Asian Buddhas, and Shivas, and those kind of all my life practically. They are very powerful objects, and they were made for spiritual purposes. They were made for people to connect themselves to the divine, to higher energy in the universe. And those things will affect you. They'll affect you. They'll go inside you. They'll make you vomit up, throw up the poisons in yourself that are blocking you and keeping you from growing inside. They were
Oh, it's a
created.
good experience. I thought it's a negative
Yes,
experience. It's a good experience. Okay.
yes, it is a good experience, Anna. You look, Anna. You don't lack tension, okay? You don't lack, stuff in you that really blocks you. At the same time, there's an extraordinary need inside you that comes out in every class to have a spiritual life. It's just absolutely from the first day you ever sat in my class, I saw that. But there's also tension, there's blocks, there's anger, there's this, there's that. And you go in front of those kinds of objects and they might release it. Understand? They were created to do that, to free people from the things that are keeping them, out of contact with higher energy in the universe. I mean, I've had a lot of experiences with, Hindu and Buddhist art, which that has been a very important aspect of my life. I mean, my God, I used to have a gallery, and all I sold were Buddhas and Shivas, and and not just reproductions. They were things that were made in temples 1,000 years ago. Every one of those objects used to affect me. And I learned something from all of them, from having had those, and I still have. Well, you've been in my apartment. You see what's here. I still have a lot of that stuff around me, and I have it around me because it is a constant reminder that I need to grow in my life. I need to evolve. I need objects and things around me that really open me to higher energy in the universe. And which museum was it? The Met?
British Museum. I was in London.
Yeah, the British Museum. Yeah, it's a very good museum. I know that museum. And the British, they they absolutely, took temples and out of India that, I mean, it was rape and pillage, they just took everything. But they have great objects there. I've sold things to the British Museum, to the Guimet, to the, Met, to a lot of museums in my life, and those objects have a specific purpose. They exist in order to connect human beings with higher energy in the universe. And if there are blocks inside us, they're going to open us up, and that you're going to vomit. You're going to, body is going to shake. You're going to go through kriyas and all kinds of stuff that are keeping you from connecting to that higher force in the universe. So what you described to me is not a negative thing. It's not. On the surface, it looks negative, but it's really not. You understand? You're getting a lot of training here, and those objects were working on you. And they found at least one person that came into the British Museum that they can work on. Most people walk around, they're just in a daze, looking at all those things. So what you told me is wonderful, is very good. And just keep working on yourself, because you'll get past all of that stuff, to a much deeper and purer place inside yourself. I remember years ago that, line, I walked into a museum in New York City. I think it was called the Riverside Museum at the time. And they had a collection of Tibetan tankas, Tibetan, religious paintings. And I walked in there, and the same thing happened to me. I was almost knocked off my feet. I felt like I found, cousins and uncles and aunts that I hadn't seen in 1,000 years when I walked into that place. And it was the first place that I really saw Tibetan paintings. And I really knew nothing about them. And I'll never forget, I walked in, I must have been 20 years old at the time, maybe even less, 18 years old. And I happened to walk past that museum, and I didn't even know it existed. And I walked in there. Like an explosion of energy inside me. And it's one of the reasons I've always been interested in having those kinds of objects around me, They're a constant reminder of one having to grow in themselves and get free of the blocks that keep them from connecting with higher energy in the universe.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome, Anna. Keep working. You're really doing wonderfully. I mean that. You're doing wonderfully. Just keep working on this. Does anyone else have a question?
Stuart, I have a question.
Yes, Shimshim.
Stuart, I think I'm able to intellectually see the blocks and my own shortcomings as a human, but I think I'm reacting more intellectually with frustration that I don't want it there, but I'm not there yet spiritually. So
Well,
there's
but
a
that's Shimshon, that's why you're coming here, to build a system inside that will free you of these things. The mind will never do it. The mind will rebel. It'll get angry. It'll, upset yourself. You're learning how to develop a chakra system that's directly linked to higher energy in the universe. And each chakra, it's part of an evolutionary process inside you and everyone else that gives you the capacity to get free of these things that the mind will never get you free of. And you're learning here how to build a system that can enable you to do it. That's what this meditation is about, building that kind of system. You understand? You're learning how to get, look, you're a very smart person, Shisham. The first day I met you, I knew that you have a very big intelligence. But you need to get grounded. You need to build the chakra below the navel, the chi, the power, the real power inside you. And by building that chakra, you will open yourself. The mind will get quiet, and all of a sudden you'll be receiving knowledge and wisdom that comes from the fountainhead of energy in the universe, from the source of all energy in the universe. a kind of knowledge that the mind can never grasp, never understand. So instead of thinking and analyzing it, you take the energy of the mind and you bring it to that chakra below the navel, and you build the foundation, the core inside you. And then when you open the heart, understand all of that tension flows down and you begin to receive. It's like Bach, when he was dying, why is everybody upset? I'm just going to where the music comes from. When you open the chakra system that way, you literally, while you're living here, go to where the music comes from. Go to where the great art comes from, the great dance. You go to where life comes from in all its manifestations. But you got to build an inner life that is strong enough to do what I'm talking about. And that's why we have these classes.
So Stuart, when these thoughts come up, do you even entertain them, or do you just take it to the
I don't listen to them. I just say, okay, Stuart, don't get swept away in tension and thinking. Bring that energy to the chakra below the navel. Build the foundation inside you. Open your heart. Open the throat. Understand and allow yourself to truly connect with energy that's literally infinite in the universe, knowledge and wisdom. That all the greatest books were written from that knowledge and wisdom. People that were connected to that energy. The Bhagavad Gita, the Bible, Ramayana, or whatever, all these books were written by people that were connected to that energy. And then in learning how to connect with it, you learn how to make it practical in your life. You can use it to get free of your karma in your life. But that takes time, it takes a lot of work. And as I say all the time, the only person we all have to get past to do what I'm talking about is ourselves. That's the person. The only person who keeps us from getting there is ourselves. But we need to build a system inside that can transform the self into a receptacle for spiritual energy, real knowledge, real wisdom.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome. Yeah, I'm really happy you're back in class, inshallah. It's like Anna, from the day I saw you, I said, you have an enormous potential to learn the kind of things that I teach. So I'm really happy that you're back. Does anyone else have a question I would like to ask?
Stuart, I have a question. It's Tom.
Yes, Tom.
A year ago, when a new level started awakening, I got severe arthritis, and sometimes it was so bad I was almost paralyzed, and it's better now. But it made me want to ask you, can an illness sometimes be a treasure map for growth?
Repeat the last sentence. Repeat the last sentence.
Repeat it. Can an illness sometimes be a treasure map for growing? In other words, my shoulders, the arthritis in my shoulders and my knees, is that telling me I need to open up past those blocks?
Yes. The answer to your question is yes. Yes. Look, illnesses are usually mental, emotional, physical blocks in us that keep energy from flowing and moving inside us. And if we master the chakra system, you get a little acupuncture and stuff like that that works with energy. And you can get past it. You can use it to grow in your life instead of being defeated. Most people are defeated by it because they have no idea how to use the things wrong with them to build a spiritual life. I mean, I read in a book, the Buddha, suffering is the fastest path to God. And I think when I read that, it struck such a profound chord in me because it's true. Suffering and difficulty in life makes us work on ourselves. The miracle here is we know how to work on ourselves. Most people have no idea how to do it. And we can use it to build a system inside that very strong and very connected to higher energy in the universe. And I always tell people real healing is not necessarily getting over the disease, the physical disease. Real healing is getting an open heart, love, gratitude, ananda. That is a state of healing. And when a person works on themselves in the kind of depth that enables them to go above the illness, you understand? They can't do it if the heart is closed. So it's forcing you to really open your heart, to love yourself and to love life and humanity and karma and, just to be a happy person. That's the healing. That's the real healing. Just look, I mean, human beings, you can live to 1,000, you can always have something wrong with you. Always. It's what you do with it. Does it defeat you, or do you use it to build your inner life and develop a deeper connection with higher energy in the universe? Do you use it to open your heart? And if you use it that way, then it's serving you. It's a gift. And we don't have to go looking for that gift. Everybody's got it. Everybody's got something, that bothers them physically, emotionally, mentally. There's always something, right? So we don't have to look for it. We have to use it consciously and not be defeated by it. Is anyone else? Is that clear, Tom? I hope it is.
Yeah, yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have a question? I'm happy to say this book I'm writing I think it's finished. I did the final edit. I'm just waiting. Jennifer's going to read through. She's halfway through also to see if I missed anything, but it's pretty much finished. And now I'm going to have to find a publisher. So that I think we'll start by the end of this week to try to find a publisher. It's been an experience, really voyage having written this thing, I tell you. Learned an awful lot. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? And so much of it came from these questions. I mean it. They were transcribed, and then they were transcribed in some language that I had to transcribe them again. I don't know what, I don't know what AI is called. I don't know what it does when it transcribes things, but it brought to me a very strange Stuart that had to be worked on and edited and fixed, but all the substance was there, so that was good. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, God bless you all. Thank you. And a wonderful evening. And there'll be class on Wednesday. I'm looking for, there's also a class tomorrow, 1 o'clock my time. That, it used to be just for people from Europe and the Middle East, but it's really now, there are more people from the US that come to it than people from Europe. So if you want to attend that class, you just, let me know. I'll put your name on the mailing list. God bless you all. Thank you. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Stuart. Thank you.
you.
Thank you, Stuart. Good night.
Good night.